من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Today we will discuss the operation, the working principle and the mechanism of one of the idealistic engine that is supposed to not exist. So it doesn't really exist, but it is an idealistic engine, and its efficiency is thought to be 100% or 1. Okay, and that engine is called carnot engine. So carnot heat engine is a theoretical engine that operates on the carnot cycle. We will discuss laterly what is meant by carnot cycle. Okay, the carnot cycle basically possess 4 steps. So we will discuss all these 4 steps separately and we will explain it. So first, let's go into the history, that what is the historical background of the carnot cycle. The basic model for this engine was developed by Nicolas Leonard Sardi Carnot in 1824. The Carnot engine model was graphically expanded by in 1834 and mathematically explored by Rodolphe Clausius in 1857. Work that led to fundamental thermodynamic concept of entropy. Okay, so we haven't yet discussed entropy, so I think there is no need to explain this sentence. Every thermodynamic system exists in particular state. A thermodynamic cycle occurs when a system is taken through a series of different states and finally returned to its initial state. It means that we are taking a system from one state, for example, it is 0 state, and then this system is returned back to this 0 state via different steps. In the process of going through this cycle, the system may perform work on its surrounding, thereby acting as a heat engine. Okay, let's every thermodynamic system exists in particular state. A thermodynamic cycle occurs when a system is taken through a series of different stages and finally returned to initial state. Okay, we have discussed these steps previously, so I think we go to the next slide. It has 4 processes. Process number 1 is isothermal expansion. We know, we have studied isothermal process, the process in which temperature of the system is kept constant. So from the first law of thermodynamics, the total heat, it's converted into work done. So isothermal expansion, at first the system expanded as a result of ignition. As I have just told you what is meant by ignition, a spark is ignited and that performs an explosion, and due to this explosion extra amount of energy or delta Q is delivered to the system, and the volume of the piston and the glass increases isothermally by taking heat externally and keeping the temperature constant. How they will keep the temperature constant? The heat will be converted to, for example, I have heat, this will be converted to PdV. The heat will be converted to work done. Okay, so this is the process number 1. This is called isothermal expansion. Second thing is adiabatic expansion. Secondly, the gas inside the chamber expands adiabatically without having contact with the surrounding, and it is done by decreasing pressure on the piston. You know, in adiabatic process, first of all, the pressure on the piston is decreased, and when the pressure on the piston is decreased, then this gas inside the piston expands adiabatically, and it expands on its own kinetic energy, on its own energy. Okay, so in this case delta Q is equal to 0. Okay, in this process the gas inside the chamber has no thermal contact with the surrounding. isothermal sorry yes, number 3, isothermal compression. In the second step, all the heat that is being observed by this gas chamber, it is released by increasing pressure on the piston, and temperature is you can say kept constant. When the temperature is kept constant and all the heat is removed, okay. In the third process, the gas inside the glass and piston is compressed isothermally by removing heat and keeping the temperature inside constant, and also by increasing pressure, okay. First of all, pressure is increased on the system. When the pressure is increased on the system, the temperature of the gas inside the glass may increase, and that extra amount of increase in temperature is released to the surrounding. So delta T is equal to 0. Okay. Adiabatic compression. Now in the second case, the last we can say case, the system is isolated from the surrounding, and when the system is isolated from the surrounding, then the pressure on this piston is increased, and when the pressure is increased, then it is pressed adiabatically. It means that the temperature inside the gas chamber will increase. Okay, so adiabatic compression, in the last, the system is compressed adiabatically by increasing pressure on the piston without having thermal contact with the surrounding, resulting in increase in temperature. Okay, so delta Q is equal to 0. This engine is ideal. Practically it does not exist. The efficiency of ideal engine or carnot engine is 1 or 100%. Okay, is it clear? The efficiency of ideal engine or carnot engine is 100 percent or 1. So if you have any question, you can send all these questions on my email, and you can ask me whenever you require. Okay, thanks for watching.